So on to our next session, we have a very special guest from across the world again. It's the session Beyond Traditional Finance, Unleashing Opportunities for Digital Finance. Please join us in welcoming Principal Architect of Google, Mr. Willem Nel, and Senior Vice President and Managing Director of Ripple, Mr. Brooks and Vissel. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Well, good morning or good morning to us, and I guess it's good afternoon to you maybe. So thank you very much, Willem, for tuning in, and thank you very much, Brooks, for tuning in. So let's start with the session. Willem, I think we should focus maybe first with you on the a little bit more retail-oriented side, but also the enterprises use case as well. So Willem, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So the question was asked, what are the opportunities, what are the differences when we look at digital finance versus traditional finance? So just quickly, my name is Willem. I'm a principal architect, technology lead for financial services here at Google Cloud, and I'm pleased to be here today. So thank you very much. Just to kind of introduce Google for those that don't understand the Google Cloud platform, and who Google Cloud is relative to Google. So obviously Google is the company with multiples of billions of users on our platform, whether it's through search or Android, whether it's YouTube and social media. Google Cloud is the platform that supports currently these billions of users and billions of interactions on a daily basis. So when we position ourselves as Google, we position ourselves as a global cloud with reach down into the retail and consumer space, but also back into enterprises. And we at Google Cloud Financial Services is working to identify how data, AI, and technology can be used to create new business opportunities, leverage new technologies to create new efficiencies. So to kind of go into that, I want to kind of share a couple of thoughts around that. Firstly, I think Google Cloud and where we're fundamentally strong is in the ability to bring the customer data, the marketing world, and Google Cloud as a platform, helping financial services really understand customers a lot better. Traditional finance has very been product siloed and product focused, and we're really trying to lead the way in terms of bringing that customer centricity view into whatever we do from a customer servicing point of view, from a customer product and product development point of view. So whether that leads us into real-time offers, whether that leads us into understanding our customers better, the ability to bring these data sets together is fundamental. But then AI as part of that and how we use advanced technologies out of manufacturing as an example here, and applying that to insurance use cases, to enhance the customer experience of the agent as well as the customer. These are ways that AI and technology are being brought together to create new opportunities for us to create efficiencies. But it's not just around video AI, it's also around how we process documents, how we make it more seamless to onboard customers, whether it's structured or unstructured data, documents and AI combined into our customer onboarding, our account onboarding processes, is fundamental for how we scale our different business models across our digital platforms. And it's not just about the data that we have inside of financial services, it's also the data that we bring together from our geospatial and Google Maps type data. So in this case, in India, what we've done is we've created a flood prediction model that is used to notify people of potential floods in certain areas. But our insurance partners and customers are also using the same data to tailor their insurance products for their particular customers and their markets. So combining advanced analytics and data, we can create richer and more meaningful customer experiences across the financial services world. But it's not just about the data and the AI, it's also about the ecosystems that we have around financial services. We see that there's a fundamental movement towards what we call embedded finance, how financial services are embedding themselves into other ecosystems. So traditionally what we had is a very one-to-one type of relationship between the customer and the financial institution, the bank. But what we're seeing now is super apps, ecosystems around e-commerce platforms. We see decentralized applications. We see blockchain networks being formed. It's important for financial services to think about how they embed themselves into these ecosystems. Now, we have quite a few solutions and offerings in this space that help financial services think about their products as APIs and how they use APIs to interact with this ecosystem. And we believe fundamentally that APIs is the gateway for the Web 2 ecosystems, but also the forming Web 3 ecosystems. And APIs is that enabling technology that allow us to bridge between the Web 2 financial services world as well as the Web 3. So when we think about APIs, it's all about how we bring our offers to market, whether it's onboarding, servicing customers, whether it's enabling to make transactions, and whether those integrate into back office core banking ledgers, blockchain applications, customer management platforms, and marketing platforms. APIs are still a fundamental part of how we see the future of finance being shaped. Obviously, APIs then also link into the Web 3 world. So there's a couple of constructs that we're seeing being developed with the Web 3 architecture, with wallets and browsers and decentralized apps being created, with APIs that need to be created for us to be able to integrate into these various frameworks. So whether those are blockchain networks that have to be networked together, whether we are integrating our customer onboarding and account services potentially into our metaverses that we're looking at, there's a variety of ways where our products and services needs to be integrated into the current Web 2, but also the future Web 3 constructs that all of us are currently dealing with. Now, obviously, cross-border payments, CBDCs, all of these things are hot topics these days as financial institutions, regulators are struggling to see how this will add value. But we fundamentally believe cloud technology, API infrastructure, data and AI is a key component that surrounds that and enables that and adds value. And then obviously, sustainability is a really big agenda for us. Sustainability has transformed financial services in many ways, in terms of how we look at our own carbon market platforms, in terms of how we look at our own technology platforms, in terms of how we're looking to manage capital flows. So at Google Cloud, we do a lot of work to create ESG data sets and ESG data platforms that will help financial institutions do impact analysis, help them understand and analyze transition financing and how transition financing will help transition the carbon world and the carbon economy. We're spending a lot of time to create what we call the digital infrastructure for the carbon economy, trying to link together our carbon marketplaces, our carbon exchanges, as well as blockchain technology as part of that to create new carbon opportunities for our customers. And then obviously Google Cloud is well known for the fact that we are the greenest cloud. We've been carbon neutral from 2017 from a data center point of view. We've been purchasing a lot of reusable energy, renewable energy sources, and that has given us a favorable position with a lot of regulators, and that's helped us to create a lot of initiatives, for instance, with MAS in Singapore to drive green climate finance technologies and solutions. So what we're doing in that space is we're acting as an accelerator for green tech and fintech companies that will build new solutions around social impact analysis, financial impact analysis, around carbon markets, and around financial products that are being offered into the carbon market spaces. That is what I have today. So I want to hand over to Brooks to take us further. Thank you.
Thank you, Willem, and thank you to the Bank of Thailand for having us today. It is terrific to be with you. My name is Brooks Entwistle. I'm the Senior Vice President for Customer Success at Ripple, looking after our global customer base, and I also head up our MENA and APAC regions. I've had the pleasure of working in and around Thailand for 30 years, and in fact, almost 30 years ago, helped open the Goldman Sachs rep office in Bangkok at that time. And so this is a country that I really enjoy spending time in, but also appreciate the deep innovation that you all have around financial services and financial systems. And this conference today is exactly a perfect example of what this is about. It's amazing to think about how often now in this last year, the topic of crypto is coming up around regulatory discussions and the like, and getting together in a conference like this and getting around the table is exactly what we believe should be the relationship between regulators and market participants. So thank you very much for putting this together. I want to do three things today. And first, just give you a very quick lessons learned from our 1 decade, 10 years. We celebrated as a company last week, the entire company getting together of building an enterprise blockchain and crypto company from scratch. 2, to give you a sense of some of the value propositions we see for digital assets and blockchain and crypto going forward that are relevant to you and the audience. And then 3, I'll take a crack at that age-old question, fiat versus crypto, and how the two, one may win, one may lose, the two may coexist, which is what we believe will happen. But first, going back and just giving you a couple of quick highlights from what we've learned over these last 10 years. We set out to build RippleNet, which is a global payment system that is now in 55 countries. We did so using fiat as the base of the transaction flow, because at that time, no one was willing to talk about digital assets or crypto, and we really could hardly even get an audience, although we did in certain places, in certain countries, and we've had good luck in having some of these discussions early in Thailand with some of the key market participants there. But we built this network of market participants, both senders and receivers, where people could move value across borders in a way that had not been done before. Faster, cheaper. Think about what was originally 7% money being transferred across borders would take 3 to 4 days. It could occasionally get lost, and the certainty just wasn't there. And it certainly, wasn't done in a way that had the end consumer in mind. So we stepped into that, we thought, with a better product solution, which was RippleNet, and built from that point on. Very early on, we knew that crypto and digital assets were going to play a big part of this, and we developed a product called on-demand liquidity, which is the ability to move this value across the blockchain seamlessly from one sending destination to a receiving destination in a matter of seconds. Unfortunately, in the early days, very few people were willing to buy into that because, again, they thought crypto was a bad word. Blockchain was something that wasn't, whose time had not come yet. But we actually persevered, and we found a lot of very innovative fintech companies and PSPs around the world that were willing to participate with us. And then banks came around as well. And so today, our on-demand liquidity product, the ability to send across the network in crypto using XRP, is now able to pay out in some 25 plus countries, which, by the way, is up from 3 just a year ago. And that really shows the absolute acceleration and adaptation that we have seen of this product over the last year or so. We use XRP just as a point because we do believe that it's fantastic at moving value. And as a result, it has been a perfect digital asset to move across RippleNet as we think about it. But let's move to point 2 quickly and think about the value proposition that we're seeing that may be relevant for this group in the audience and online. I talked about just moving value, which one of the early cases that we used was remittances. And some of those factoids that I mentioned earlier, the cost of doing so, the uncertainty, the sheer social issue of workers sending money from the Middle East back to the Philippines, that money not arriving to families that needed it, was something that we were trying to solve. And so remittances and payments were certainly some of the early things that we looked at. But this notion of pre-funding accounts in a destination currency is actually something that's relevant for not just payments, but also for treasury operations. And over the last year or so, we have had several customers, including FOMO in Singapore, iRemit in the Philippines, that have taken us up on an incredible opportunity to use ODL to help their cross-border treasury flows. This was a natural evolution of our product. It's something that, again, has taken idle capital and got it more useful, put it into a growth mode, and help people catalyze their businesses. Ultimately, and while we are an enterprise, have an enterprise product and an enterprise company, it benefits the consumer in a big way. By using this ODL for treasury payments, the notion of 24/7 all year round liquidity access is a reality and something that we've seen great uptake on and we're excited about. Crypto at the end of the day is 24/7, 365 for instant settlements. And that's a massive, massive improvement on the world that we've all operated in. After I think about the last 30 years in Asia, watching these capital markets and banking systems develop, this is an extraordinary, absolute leap from a technology standpoint, and is super exciting. Last and third, this notion of crypto versus fiat. And we get asked this all the time at Ripple. We actually believe that both are going to coexist for a long time. We're not in the business of putting fiat out of a place in the markets, and we don't think crypto solves everything. But we believe the two together are an unbeatable combination. We operate our RippleNet business in markets that are not open to crypto right now, and people put fiat into one of our sending partners. That is uploaded eventually to the blockchain and into our product, NoDL, and may be paid out in a country that is crypto friendly. But the fiat piece of it coming into our system and leaving our system is very important and will not go away. And this notion of crypto as a bridge and the role of stable coins is just super important as we think about how this can work and grow over time. And so we like to believe both at Ripple, but also in this question that there's a role in the middle between financial institutions that have played a key role in building financial markets for decades and innovation and crypto-friendly institutions that are on the forefront of this. People have to be in the middle bridging these two. We do that at Ripple, and we think crypto plays a role in doing that as well. So we're excited to be on the panel today. We're excited to be in this forum, and want to thank the regulator, thank the Bank of Thailand for giving us this opportunity and for giving all of us this opportunity to be in the dialogue, to be in the conversation, because this is how markets move forward, and this is how ultimately consumers and customers are better off. Thank you.
Thank you, Willem and Brooks. But before I let you go today, one last quick questions for the both of you, actually. So we at the BOT Digital Finance Conference, we have talked about not only just for any innovations, but responsible innovations that could actually affect people's lives and the well-being of the people. So one quick question to the both of you: how will future digital finance affect productivity and inclusivity of the society? Let's start off with you then, Willem.
Thank you. So we believe that mobile technology is one of the enablers when you get to kind of digital finance. So when we look at the world today, Android has about 71% share of the global mobile platform. And we definitely see that mobile technology base, and Android as a leading player in that space, is part of that enablement layer for digital finance. And obviously on top of that Android platform, we have different types of wallets, different types of applications that allows the users at any level to be able to interact with the financial ecosystem. Obviously, digital financial products, whether it is stablecoins, CBDCs, whether it's digital payment type platforms, all of those things ultimately sits on top of that, we believe, that mobile platform. And then data and AI is a lot of the technology that gets then used to safeguard a lot of what happens in those spaces, whether it's managing fraud, whether it's managing kind of anti-money laundering, KYC. There's a lot of enabling technology that we kind of see in the space that needs to be put in place for digital finance to be successful. And that ultimately, we believe, will lead to inclusion that we've never seen before, where through a mobile device, people can be included into the financial ecosystem far faster, far better, and in real time. So I think that whole mobile layer and the data and AI that comes with that is a key fundamental enabler.
Thank you very much for a great summary of how the future of finance will affect inclusivity. Then on to you then, Brooks. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. This company, Ripple, was started with a mission-driven opportunity to move value across borders in a way that had not been done previously. And we think ultimately that has massive impact for citizens of any country, and especially in the emerging markets. We talked today about the notion of the remittance market. It's a $750 billion market. That's a place to start. Think about taking that cost of that, transaction down and passing that savings on to the consumer, to the recipient, those dollars or pesos or whatever it may be go a lot further towards education, hospital bills, or building businesses. If you then think about this opportunity with taking that to trade flows, to small business opportunities across borders, it is so inefficient, the notion of how value is moved, how costly it is, that we believe the blockchain and crypto plays a big role in that. And the notion of capital being locked up in pre-funded accounts in treasury operations that are stuck in one market when it can be much more fluid across markets, that is capital that's being released into the system, which ultimately benefits economies and benefits systems. And so we believe that we're onto something. We've seen an incredible uptick in the last year, as I mentioned. And I would end by saying that we very much share the same ethos that Willem talked about with Google. We, from the very beginning, have been sustainability focused. We were the first crypto company to sign the Global Crypto Climate Accord, and we have a large carbon credits effort underway. And we're excited about that as well, because we believe that by doing this right and moving value the right way across borders in an environmentally friendly way is the best thing we can do for the planet. Thanks again for having me.
Well, thank you to the both of you, and a big round of applause for Willem Nell from Google and Brooks and Wissel from Ripple. Thank you for joining us online today. A big round of applause for them, please.